Hey there, everybody. Welcome back. Enigmatic Entertainment backing on another video. This is another album review. My previous one was Kid Cudi, Man on the Moon 2, The Legend of Mr. Rager. This time, it's going to be Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon by Brooklyn rapper Pop Smoke, unfortunately deceased, recently murdered, gunned down, 20 years old, back February 2020. This album was his first posthumously released album, debut studio album, released in July 2020. Roughly 5 months after his murder. Partially because of, or largely in part for this being a suggested album review, suggested to me by a viewer. Also because I've listened to some of his previous music, I thought it was alright. And because of what happened, I figured, yeah, I'll give it a go, check it out, review it. So here we go. And of course, I do have to mention that it is very sad. It is a tragedy what happened to him. But this is an album review. This is about the music, not about him as a person. I know he rapped about, like I said, I listened to his first two mixtapes. I know he rapped about, that life, as they call it. So, but this is strictly music. And it's still a freaking tragedy what happened to him. Track 1 is Bad Bitch from Tokyo. This is the intro, a short track, less than a minute long, but a pretty catchy tune. 8-bar verse. Stunt with designer brand clothing, weed, and as the title says, a bad woman from Tokyo. And it seems like clearly Pop was, well-traveled and had expensive and exotic taste, if you know what I mean. Next up is track 2, Aim for the Moon. And this is like the closest thing you're going to get to like a title track, seeing as it's half of the title. And then in the chorus of this song, like the first thing they say is like, shoot for the stars. So if you put it together, it's like aim for the moon, shoot for the stars, just like the title. So yeah, okay, title track. So, typical drill production sounds similar to the stuff on the first and second mixtapes, really. Welcome to the Wu 1 and 2. This song features Quavo from the Migos, just like that song Shake the Room from Welcome to the Wu 2. Quavo's verse starts off alright, then he just turns into like this auto-tune singing, and then back to rapping again in his normal voice, and I'm just like, wait, why did you do that? Just leave it normal, it's okay. But it doesn't ruin it, it's just like, you could have just not kicked in the auto-tune at all, man, you know what I mean? But I've never been the biggest fan of auto-tune myself, so, hey. But it's an alright song, though. Next up is track 3, For the Night. This one features Lil Baby and Da Baby, all talking about their situations with, as you can assume from the title, being with a woman for just one night, like a hit it and quit it kind of thing. The braggadocious sex lines are, mixed in with braggadocious lines about designer fashion once again, and some lines about guns. So, hey, talk about staying on topic, am I right? Like some other songs in this album, Pop's verse here is a bit short, but considering the situation that occurred, it is completely understandable that he wouldn't have every verse completed, Next up is track 4, which is 44 Bulldog, and of course that is a reference to the 44 revolver, a handgun, obviously. As you can probably guess, based on the title and whatnot, this is a track with very menacing gun talk, with a equally menacing beat. That's also pretty catchy. Pop shouts out various members of his crew and their willingness to really just shoot you for no reason. It's typical rough New York talk that I can really vibe with. Easily one of my standouts on the album. Many people say that he sounds similar to 50 Cent, both vocally and just his music overall. And this is one of the better examples that I can name as of yet. I suppose it doesn't hurt either that 50 Cent executive produced this album. You know what I mean? That just adds the fans' flames to the the comparisons and whatnot, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. You know what I mean? Next up is track 5, Gangstas. This gives me like an early turn of the century New York rap scene that feels kind of similar to like a 50 Cent or a Fabulous maybe, Plenty of gun talk, braggadocious, and tough talk for everybody. The intro has a line that's been considered a diss to fellow Brooklyn rapper Tekashi 6ix9ine. You're here, and he's talking about like some extra loud this and rainbow hair that, and basically, very directly, indirectly talk about Tekashi 6ix9ine. Hey, It also has a pretty catchy hook on it, showing how gangsta he is, and he's repping New York, which of course is always nice to hear. And this is once again a song that I could probably consider a standout track for me out of the rest of the album, Next up is track 6. Has a beat that's reminiscent of a love song. It's called Yeah Yeah. Yeah Yeah. But I thought it'd be a love song, but it's not. There's another song of This is another example of a song's lyrical content and production just not matching. It doesn't match. It doesn't fit together. Lyrically, once again, he's talking with that gun talk, shoot 'em up, bang bang again. And there's a line or two directed to the ladies, but overall feel is really street life rather than love life overall. I also find it a bit interesting how Pop Smoke really does this in a lot of songs where he can seamlessly rap about the expensive things in life, high fashion and all that, but also keep a very street, grimy, gutter gangster with it too, without it coming across like forced or fake or anything like that. That's pretty dang cool, and that's like a talent of his, you know what I mean? Next up is track 7, Creature. This one features Sway Lee quite heavily. He's all over the song and gives another example of why he's the go-to for rap or sung feature in mainstream hip-hop, honestly. The chorus, the first verse, the bridge are all dominated by him, and Pop Smoke is no slouch in his verse either on this song. Once again, this is a track covering the life of living lavish with designer clothes and being popular with the ladies, and it sounds like another club banger, really. Next up is track 8, Snitching. Obviously a song about snitching, of course, at least when the people on the track manage to stay on topic. It sounds like a Migos type track, which makes sense considering Quavo is featured on it, this making his second appearance on the album. Also features on the track as well. Besides the chorus, not much else in this song makes a mention of the snitching in question. More so continuous braggadocious rhymes over a trap beat. This is one I could really just take or leave it. It's whatever. I'm not into Future's music much, really, or honestly really even like Quavo and Amigos, so I was like, alright, and they didn't stay on topic. I don't understand, but okay. Next up is Make It Rain. This is back to the up-tempo, drill-type production with Pop Smoke rapping with his aggression about his toughness, his affiliation, and all of that. And it's also the lead single from the album. It features Roddy Rebel, from, GS9 and all that, spitting a verse on a collect call from prison. It seems like this is becoming increasingly more a common thing to feature on songs, and I don't know why. This was done, for example, on A$AP Rocky's song Call Drops from Testing. The Testing album, his third album. And on Tekashi 6ix9ine's song Stupid, featuring Bobby Shmurda from Prison as well. Which is weird considering how Pop Smoke seemed to have felt about Tekashi 6ix9ine and Rowdy Rebel and Bobby Shmurda being like this and both being in prison and being from like the same neighborhood, So it's just like, alright, but hey. The quality of their verses when this stuff happens is just not good and makes it less enjoyable overall. And I mean the sound quality. I don't mean like what they're rapping about, what they're saying, or how their flow is or anything like that. Just the audio quality itself. Just bad from a freaking collect call. I prefer to just hear a song collaboration between these people when they're released. So it seems like an odd choice to make a lead single in this regard. But outside of that issue, it's probably one of the songs I'd find myself listening to compared to some of the other songs on this album. But next up is The Woo. This is the second single from the album and features 50 Cent, like I said, who also executive produced the album and also features Roddy Rich as well. Production-wise, this track is a Latin type of feel, and sound mixed with the drill sound too, make it get an oddly fitting combination for the song topic. All three artists are talking about women, living a lavish lifestyle, whining and dining, expensive gifts and all that baller stuff that, we just can't afford to do as broke guys. Yay, broke guys. I'm in that club. Not a bad track at all, though. Pop Smoke even makes a reference to 50 Cent's Candy Shop on here, even further pushing the comparisons between the two artists, Next up is West Coast shit. It features Tyga. It features Tyga and Quavo. Once again, Quavo's on this album 3 times. They all rap about the West Coast lifestyle. Quavo and Pop Smoke tackle the hook together. Tyga does the first verse. Doing pretty good. I know at times it's like this running joke to just clown Tyga for some freaking weird reason. I don't know why. Especially a few years ago, and I never was on that bandwagon. I thought that was mad corny to be doing. I've liked some of his features on songs when I do have heard them. I don't go out searching for his music, but when I have heard him, especially on some features, I'm like, oh, that's not bad at all. That's pretty good. Okay, cool. Nice flow and whatnot. But I don't necessarily see how lyrics about like watches and cocaine is like a West Coast thing in particular, because that's what they rap about on this song. I mean, especially like Quavo. I really prefer when songs stay on topic, and this is another one that just doesn't. Just like I said with Snitching, I'm like, well, I don't get it. It doesn't sound bad overall, but the title just could have been something else at least. And I'm sure it's not something, I guess, meant to be that literal. Like, Tyga is a West Coast artist, so that's good, but Quavo is from the South, and, like, I just don't get it. So, like I said, this is a review, so I'm just digging deeper, for the sake of reviewing. But, I mean, the song isn't bad. Don't take it like that, you know what I'm saying? But, anyways, next up is Enjoy Yourself. Pretty much, this begins what I'm going to be calling the R&B portion of the album. And this song features Karol G, a Colombian singer, singing in Spanish in this song on the second verse and the bridge. I have no idea really what she's saying for the most part, since my Spanish is pretty still like beginner level. But it sounds alright vocally to me, and that's what matters, The song puts me in the mood to just relax with my woman, as the song basically tells the woman to do, Pop's rapping and singing on here about the woman in question being able to freely drink and enjoy herself as she wants. And I guess he's once again taking up the tab for this. Once again, broke guys be losing. Moving on, next up is Mood Swings. This is the second song in the R&B portion. There's like a few songs back to back that are like more R&B style and whatnot. Once again, this is a softer, more romantic beat with Pop singing about his sexual exploits and loving this woman in question and buying her stuff. The song features rapper Lil TJ as well, pretty much doing the same thing that Pop is doing. And I don't hate love songs, but I really could do without this one. Like, once again, it charted in some countries, and I heard it even got a remix with like Summer Walker. It's a song for the ladies, and I guess I get its purpose. It's just not one that I'm replaying. I just listened to it for this review, and I'm just like, all right. Okay, I get it. Not for me, though. Next up is Something Special. Once again, continues with the love songs and whatnot. Features a sample of Into You by Fabulous and Tamia. I'm so into it. Like, it's a pretty good song. If you don't know it, go check it out, please. You're missing out. More of Pop singing on the chorus and bridge. Thanks to the sample and more rapping and less singing on his verse, though, I can find myself listening to this one over the rest of the love songs on the album. Like the previous two and the next one and whatnot. Next up is What You Know About Love. What You Know About That. I know all about. Once again, more R&B. This song samples yet an R&B classic. Again, Differences by Genuine. Once again, that's a bit better of a feeling, but largely due to the sample, because that's one of my favorite R&B songs of all time, really. Content-wise, it's more singing by Pop Smoke about being in love. Apparently, the woman in question sends him pictures, like nude photos and stuff he wakes up to, and cooks him breakfast almost every day. Sounds like a pretty dang good relationship, honestly. More spending loads of cash and living in a lavish lifestyle as well. Kind of stunting on those broke guys, you know what I mean? Broke guy club, you know what it is. Again, this whole section of the album is really the part where you can just chill with your girlfriend and have a break from the more rough and tough street lyrics, all that gangsta stuff from the first half of the album. So once again, it serves its purpose. It just ain't for me, really. I want something I can ride to and all that, you feel me? Next up is Diana. Dirty Diana. Okay. It apparently features Cowboy on the chorus, and I guess on the remix he has a verse on it as well. I haven't heard the remix, but I'm just doing the original. So this has a verse from P. Diddy's son King Holmes, who is also a rapper. Once again, this features another sample from another R&B song, Cheers to You by the group Playa. According to the chorus, Pop Smoke likes light-skinned, tattooed women with black hair and a bob cut style and nice teeth and smile. The bob haircut part seems kind of random, really, but people like what they like. That's just never been my kind of thing on a woman, but I mean, hey, it is what it is. You feel me? Once again, I can mess with this song maybe if I'm chilling with a woman, but this is another one that's mostly carried for me by the sample. So if nothing else, the producer did his thing. This also finishes the R&B section, so not much else to say about it except, hey, put these songs on a nice playlist with your woman. These the 4-5 songs in a row. At least he got variety. Next up is Got It On Me. Now this is a return to rough gun talking lyrical content of Pop Smoke, and once again brings the 50 Cent references quite literally, because of the chorus being an interpolation of 50 Cent's Many Men. Many Men, one of my favorite 50 Cent songs ever. Pretty big song. I was just listening to it the other day, riding around. Classic. This is more a return to my style that I like to hear from him. Here he's spitting quick, aggressive flow that I haven't really heard him use before. And I can see other people like this one and make the 50 Cent references that they do. This is probably one of my top songs on the album, along with those other 2 or 3 that I mentioned up towards the first half of it also, 44, Bulldog and Gangstas and whatnot. Next up is Tunnel Vision, which is the outro. This is the finish of the album. The finisher. And besides title track, the bonus track, Dior, which is a song from his previous releases, Welcome to the Woo 1 and 2. It was on both mixtapes and this album, so I'm not going to really be covering it like that. This one, Tunnel Vision, is very similar subject matter-wise to the rest of the non-R&B parts of the album, and not really much to dissect. However, between the title of the song, the outro of the song, the last line of the verse, and the fast-paced production, this truly does feel like the outro to the album, as well as the unfortunate outro to Pop Smoke's life. Too quickly, another young artist has been taken from us. He wasn't even old enough to legally drink. It's sad to hear that he was taken from gun violence, even though he may have rapped about it quite often, as you can see on his album and his previous mixtapes. It's still sad to see him really not even be able to enjoy the fruits of his labor, of all his hard work and effort that he put in. It's messed up. But overall, this album was alright. Not bad at all. Quite feature heavy, but understood why. He had a lot of rap features and all that, to kind of give the songs a more complete feeling. He was not alive to give his final say on how he wanted to go, so I understand that. If anything, 50 Cent executive produced it, so I'm sure he had a big part to play in choosing certain artists and producers and singers and whatnot. The album was basically a sum up of Brooklyn drill, trap, and R&B sounds, production-wise. Some of the songs became a bit repetitive, with the subject matter being largely the same, and the love songs aren't really something I'd find myself listening to alone, but some of the other tracks I can find myself driving around, chilling and listening to and whatnot. Once again, Dior is also a good track. Not really much to say about it. I like it, and it's been out for quite a while, so, hey, go check it out. Dior. I do like it. It's the first song I heard, and this basically introduced me to Pop Smoke musically. And overall, this is not a very relatable album to me at all personally, but I do typically like New York grimy music. Commercially, the album did pretty dang well, and it seems people liked it, enjoyed it, and that's good. That's what music is there for, to enjoy, buy, and, listen to with your loved ones, The deluxe edition, featuring over a dozen new tracks and remixes, was released later the same month on what would have been his 21st birthday. And I will possibly be reviewing that as well in a separate video if it is also suggested like this one was suggested. As I said in the beginning of the video, this was suggested by a viewer. So once again, thank you to you personally for suggesting it, because I'm sure you're going to watch it, And thank you for everyone else that watches it. Thank you to all the Pop Smoke fans, of course, for watching as well. And I hope Pop Smoke's family, friends, and fans are doing well. Keep your heads up. Hold on. Be strong. I'm sure it's hard. I couldn't imagine. And, just hang in there. It is a tragedy. The gun violence and all this is just not cool. But that was Pop Smoke, Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon album. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Click the thumbs up button, the like button, and leave a comment if you have any comments or suggestions for another album review or anything else, or you have anything you want to recommend me music-wise and whatnot. I'm here for it. Also, remember to follow the channel on Twitter, as well as Instagram and Twitch, and keep in mind that I do have a Discord server ready, and I do use Discord frequently, and all those links and whatnot will be in the description box below. Thank you for watching once again. I hope you guys are all well. I'm out.